Have you ever loved someone so much that their happiness was your own? That's the story of Afia and Nana. They weren't just sisters. They were two halves of the same soul. Afia, the older, was the steady anchor, and Nana, her younger sister, was the wild, beautiful storm. They were inseparable, a common sight in their small town where everyone knew, if you see Afia, Nana is not far behind. They shared secrets whispered in the dark, clothes that blurred the lines between their closets, and a silence that was more comforting than any words. Then, Malik entered their world. He was everything Afia had ever dreamed of. Charming, kind, and his eyes held a universe where she was the only star. Nana was the first to know, of course. She was happy for her sister, truly she was. But for the first time, she had to share Afia's heart. A tiny, almost invisible distance started to form between them, like a hairline crack in a precious vase. Afia, ever the protective older sister, noticed. She made sure their bond remained strong, scheduling their usual movie nights, long walks, and late-night talks. She was determined to have it all, the love of her life and the soul of her sister. For a while it seemed like she could. Everything was perfect, until the day it shattered. One afternoon, Afia decided to leave work early. She wanted to surprise Malik, to cook his favorite meal and tell him just how much he meant to her. Her heart was full, humming with a happy tune. But as she approached his apartment, the tune died in her throat. There at the door were two familiar shoes. Shoes she knew as well as her own. They were Nana's. A wave of confusion washed over her, followed by a cold dread. Then she heard a sound from inside, laughter, a sound she knew intimately, followed by a heavy, telling silence. That silence broke Afia in a way no scream ever could. She didn't storm in. She didn't shout. She simply turned around and walked away, her footsteps impossibly quiet. That night, Afia didn't cry. She sat alone in the darkness of her room, a silent movie of memories playing in her head. Nana's hand in hers, Malik's smile, their shared laughter. The faces of the two people she loved most in the world. When Nana finally came home, she found Afia sitting on her bed, her eyes red but strangely calm. Before Nana could even speak, Afia looked at her and said just two words. "I know." Nana froze, the guilt she'd been carrying finally crushing her. Words failed her as tears streamed down her face. She fell to her knees, a torrent of apologies, excuses, and pleas for forgiveness pouring out. But Afia didn't raise her voice. She just looked at her broken sister and said softly, "I forgive you, both of you." And in that moment, she meant it. Because love, even when it's fractured, doesn't just switch off. But forgiveness is not forgetting. It couldn't erase the deep, aching chasm of betrayal. The silence that grew between them afterward was heavier than any argument could ever be. On the surface, things seemed normal. Afia still smiled at Nana. She still cooked her favorite meals. But Nana could see it, the hollowness in her sister's eyes, the way Afia's vibrant heart had gone quiet whenever she was near. The warmth was gone, replaced by a polite, painful distance. Nana was drowning in her own guilt. She wrote letters she was too ashamed to give, prayed for a peace that never came, and spent sleepless nights haunted by the reflection of the pain she had caused. Every time she looked at Afia, she saw a love struggling for air against the weight of heartbreak. And she couldn't bear it. One morning, Afia woke up to the smell of Nana's perfume, unusually strong, as if trying to leave a permanent trace. On her pillow, she found a note, the handwriting shaky and stained with tears. It read, "I know you forgave me, but I can't forgive myself. You were my world, Afia, and I destroyed it." A cold terror seized Afia. She scrambled out of bed and ran to her sister's room, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm of denial. But it was too late. The bond that was once their greatest strength had become a source of unbearable grief. In the crushing silence of that empty room, Afia was hit with a cruel realization about love and forgiveness. Sometimes it isn't enough to save the people we love from themselves. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of human emotion. We'll see you in the next one.